What's up, YouTube? This is John back with another episode of Engineering Awesome. I just got in my Swag Off-Road 20-ton finger press brake kit. This is the heavy-duty model. I build a lot of fire pits, and I thought that it'd be really great to be able to bend some of the sides of. I've had the press for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now. Haven't used it at all because I only got it to use this Swag Off-Road kit with it. So, since it just got here, let's go ahead and do an unboxing of it, and I'll show you guys what's inside. There's a ton of videos out there on this kit already. I've watched a ton of them. I imagine that you guys are watching this video because you're interested in picking one of these kits up yourself. I'm not going to go too in depth on actually welding on the kit in particular. I'm going to show some of my welds. I'll probably speed through some of it while I'm actually welding because I am using the Viper MIG 180. That's down in the description, just like links to this are as well. The reason why I want to show some of those welds is because a lot of people have been asking after I posted the video about that. I'll go ahead and put a link up here so you guys can check that video out. But they've been asking what the quality of welds are with that and how it's holding up. I bought it specifically for one purpose, and that was to build my CNC plasma table. Haven't had a bit of problem with those welds. A few of the areas could have been designed better, so I'm relying strictly on welds specifically to hold up the water table. Next CNC plasma that I build will be a little bit different in that regard, but ultimately everything is holding up awesome. So really pleased with the system. So let's go ahead and open up this box and get to welding on it. So I will say that I love the stamp. I'm probably going to have to do that for my stuff just because, you know, it's an awesome way to kind of advertise your business just with the box. I've done it before with a laser. Probably going to get an ink stamp done as well. Let's keep going. So with this kit, I did go ahead and get the angle cube. Yeah, I think they call it an angle cube. What this does is let you magnetically attach it to what you're bending, and then it displays where you're at. Now you have to divide it in half, obviously, but this should help a lot with accuracy. A lot of people use them on saw blades and stuff too, so I think it's actually going to be a pretty versatile tool. So this is the first piece I pulled out, as you guys saw. Honestly, it really looks like it's been machined well, so pretty excited about that. Here's the first finger. Looks like this one's the 1-inch one. It looks pretty good. It's a solid cut finish here. I don't foresee that being an issue. You should be able to get them close enough that really, yeah, it doesn't cause any issues there at all. So reduces cost by not machining what doesn't have to be machined. This is an adjustable backstop. It actually looks like it's been laser cut, I would say. It's interesting. That process is pretty pricey. This thing is beefy. I mean, that's 3/8 channel there, although it looks like it's bent, so it was plate that they lasered and then bent up. And then this is quarter wall angle there. I believe I'm just looking at it. All of this is on their website. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Let's go ahead and dump this out. Alright, so right off the bat, I am seeing something that I really don't like much. I'm not sure if it's part of the design or not, but we've got these shafts that our top ram rides up and down on, right? We weld them to this, so they need to be pretty straight. We've got some holes in this base here. Okay, you can see them right there. I've got these. They don't fit. I was really hoping that they'd fit, because that just makes it so that it's one less thing I have to try and make sure that I've got lined up 100% straight. Now, what I'll do is I'll get some magnets, which will help me hold it at the correct angle, make sure it's 90 degrees. But still, that's a little bit frustrating. Actually, really frustrating. But whatever, we'll move on. Well, so I don't know how these fit on there either, but I'm assuming, because I don't really see any instructions in here. I'll check those bags and boxes that I tossed down, but I don't see them. But I've got this, and I assume that this has something to do with the backstop, which I love having, but these don't fit. Now, I don't know that that's where they go. Honestly, it may just be these. Yep. So those carriage bolts go through there, so that shouldn't really be. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shut the video off for now. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of me welding here after a bit, but I want to get this thing set up because I didn't realize there wouldn't be any instructions in there, but I know that they're on the website in PDF form. So I will be back with you guys. Alright guys, I'm back. I've had several things that didn't really go the way that I planned with this video, but I still want to go ahead and finish it up. I ran out of battery. I also ran out of memory at one point, and I ran out of MIG wire. All I had on hand was 23 thousandths wire, and I was using 30 thousandths wire. But regardless, everything is done now. I have got this put together and in the machine. I have not used it yet. I've got this piece of aluminum here that I think that we're going to go ahead and test it on. But before we do that, let's go over a couple of things during the build. When I was unboxing it, initially I was not all that impressed. There were a few things that to me looked like they were way off. The guide rods did not fit. Those weird little tabs didn't go anywhere, it looked like. Honestly, I just wasn't super impressed right off the bat. However, as it turned out, I was the one that was mistaken. You've got the press, you can get the rods in there. They tell you you need to use a press. Obviously, this is a builder kit for a press, so they know you've got the means to do it. Everything went together beautifully after I went through the instructions, which were down inside a box hiding behind another one, so they had included them. I was mistaken there as well. So ultimately, any issues that I had were caused by myself, not this setup. I am very impressed with it. Everything looks like it's going to work really well for what I need, which is just the capability to bend a few pieces of metal every once in a while. I don't need to do it that frequently. In fact, right now I've got all of the fingers installed. I have not put on the backstop. I figured just for playing purposes, I really don't need it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to use the cube because this is aluminum, so it's not going to work with that. So I'm going to go ahead and shove this in here. Now, I do want to point out before we get going on it too far, this is air operated. So that's not something that you get right off the shelf at Harbor Freight. You do have to buy this. So that's going to do two things. First, it's going to make it a heck of a lot quicker for me to go ahead and bend something. But the other thing it's going to do is make it very loud. So while I'm bending, I'll probably throw some music over the top so you don't have to listen to the pump and then also the air compressor coming on. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I want you guys to be able to see the welds too. I don't have any formal training welding. These are all 100% self-taught. I think that unit is great. I think it's an excellent machine to teach yourself on. I did not grind any of these welds. You do have to weld it fully, but they tell you not to weld it fully at one point. One thing I really struggle with is when I reconnect a weld, like when I stop and then pick up in the same point and go again, it doesn't look that great. You can see kind of a pocket, and I didn't want to go back in and redo that part. But when I switched to 23 thousandths wire, I had to retune it again, so that's another cause for some weirdness on it. But I do like the 23 thousandths wire. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So despite all the issues that I had, really, this has turned out phenomenally. If you'll notice in the video, I do have their CNC knob. I'll link that down below, as well as this kit. Obviously, this thing made a huge difference. Having the air pump was awesome. Now, that being said, it's still fairly slow. I'm probably going to speed the video up because that ended up being near 4 minutes of me just bending. I did have to wait for the air compressor to kick off to show you guys the last bend, but regardless, very happy with this. Again, I'm going to link everything down in the description below. I do appreciate when you guys use the affiliate links. It helps support the channel without costing you anything extra, so anytime that you guys can do that, I definitely appreciate it, especially when it was due to the channel that you made a purchase. Another thing I'm going to link below is my new favorite grinder. So this DeWalt, I was never really big into spending as much as these cost, which is really only 60 bucks. But holy cow, it has made a big difference in my my time to grind plasma cut parts. I've got a Hitachi, which is now Metabo, just their low-end model. Hitachi bought out Metabo, or has owned them, whatever. And then I've got this Genesis grinder, which is just from the tractor store. This thing sucks. It's easily the worst grinder I have. Had no idea because it is pretty powerful. But when I got the DeWalt, it just made everything else look silly. So I'm going to link that down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you do subscribe. I know I don't post a whole lot. It's been really cold lately. I tried to catch it while it was still warm today. But the temperature has dropped significantly now. So I'm trying to wrap this up so I can go in. But make sure that you guys like the video, comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time on Engineering Awesome.